Well, hello everybody, and a good morning to you. So we've got another new arrival coming to Hochanda. Can I introduce you to lovely Katie?
Hello.
Lovable, huggable.
Yes.
Huggable, lovable.
Huggable, lovable.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I did this again. Even when I came in, I still got that right. So it is Huggable, Lovable.
Yeah.
And I love everything that we're going to be showing today.
Yes, they are really lovely.
So the whole concept is we're talking fabric books.
Yes, exactly that. So they come on a panel.
Right.
So you get one piece of fabric. Which then has its instructions at the bottom.
Okay.
And then all the pages of the book.
See that there. This is a cute one. And you're even getting the wadding in there as well. Obviously,
getting the wadding
important.
in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's polyester wadding. That's because it's really good for washing, and obviously your kids are going to throw them out the pushchair, chew them, and they're going to need to go through the washing machine. And I've done it. Okay. It's fine. So they make up the little storybooks, and they're ever so lovely.
So I love you, little monster. I love you even when treats are all you want to eat. We all know little monsters like that. These are very cute little stories as we go through. And they've all got their sort of unique charm to them. So here we've got little monster horns at the back as well. I like this. This is a really nice touch. Yeah,
so you could embroider on that, or you could just use a permanent marker pen.
Very nice. So that is our first offering. You're getting everything you need, barring obviously you just have to stitch it up yourself.
Exactly.
Can you hand stitch or use a machine?
Machine stitch, I would say, just to make it a bit stronger.
Easier. Okay. Brilliant. $16.99 your price. 595-714 your item number. Right, that's just one of the options. We are going to carry on down. We've got our llama. Now, you have got a little daughter.
I have,
Sophie?
yes. Sophie, yes.
Sophie. How does she respond? Does she like fabric books?
She loves them, yeah. I mean, these are all great because they're such good colours as well. They're real primary colours, so they're really bright and they're really fun. And when she was little, really small, she could enjoy the colours and things like that. But now that she's getting a little bit older, she's actually enjoying the story and the rhymes and the words and things as well. So they're not just for babies as well. They're great for older toddlers and also children learning to read and things as well, because they're nice, simple stories.
That's a good point. So it kind of progresses through from when they're young and they're just literally feeling the sensory aspect to growing up when they get a little older, knowing the story. And because they're soft, you can wash them. They're not going to hurt themselves. Could you put in, if you want to put any rustle paper or anything,
that's a really good suggestion, like putting in something to make it rustly, or you know, you can get little squeaks and things for maybe the horns or the feet and things. So
take it that step further.
You can go as far as you want with them, really.
This is a nice one. So where's my llama mama? I like that. This is cute. So we will just flick through each one just to show you the little stories. Are you my mama? No, ask the little llama. Nope, I'm a cow for now. There you go. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a pig, and that's my gig. You can imagine with these two. I love it. Okay, this is fast becoming my favourite. So there we go. $16.99 your price. 595-714 your item number there. Again, all the options are exactly the same. You get that fantastic panel with all the instructions, and you're getting the wadding in there as well. Yeah. Okay. As we move on, we've got a cute little teddy bear.
Teddy bear, yeah, with his dangly little feet on that one.
Look, he's having a little sleep. There. Now I lay. Oh, there you go. There's a little feet. Very cute. Now I lay down to sleep. Should we open this up? Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray that God will love and keep. As we go through all the fish in all the seas, and all the leaves on all the trees. These are lovely. I feel like it's suddenly turned into kids'
a bedtime story,
But look, that's what it's about. I think this is nice. Kids, well, you'd be a good answer to this question. Kids respond well to routine as well.
Oh,
so
definitely.
If they know, bring out the book, we read the story. One thing to point out, the spelling in here, so it's the American mummy.
Yeah, the fabric is American, so this one in particular says mommy in it as opposed to mummy.
So just want to make that clear to everyone. I know you were keen to point that out as well. We don't want it, it's lovely because I was chatting to Katie, she's like, I don't want anyone to be disappointed when they get home. So,
exactly.
But look, it's an American fabric, so that's okay. We will move on. We've got another option for you. Now we've got a cute little poochie. Who's this? I like this. Oh, that's Peekaboo, I love you. And you got the tail in there as well. Should we have a little peek inside, Katie? Let's have a little look. Would you like to do some reading or?
No, you are very good at it.
Really? Okay. Who's that hiding there behind the chair? I'm genuinely intrigued. Who's that tucked in the house with care? And who's that cuddled under the pink rug? You can see kids would love that. And who's that peeking out like a little love bug? I won't finish it off because you're going to have to buy it to see the end of that story. Cliffhanger. $16.99 your price. These are just options. Finally, this is your fave. This is
my favourite. I'm a bit, I do like a pun.
Yeah.
So I totally love you.
But do you know what? I know each one of the books have got that sort of 3D aspect. And having the little legs...
It just makes it that little bit more fun, doesn't it?
Super cute. And I totally love you. Let's have a little look. See what's happening here. So, I love to hop around with you. It's be good for Valentine's.
Oh, yeah.
I love to splish and splash with you too. Oh. I love the way we float around on our backs. This is very cute.
They are very cute.
This is very cute. Yeah. I love the way we hang out and relax. It's nice, and you don't get to see the end of the story. But you know what I do like? All of them come with that little personal touch, and we pointed it out. So embroider. I know some embroidery machines. They do have. You can actually spell out on your machine as well, or just write in a pen, permanent marker on there as well. One thing, Katie, I know you're really keen to show everyone is just how easy it is to make the panel.
Yes, they are really easy. A beginner could do it. It's they're rectangles after all, apart from the little fiddly bits. So yeah, I'd love to show you.
Shall we have a go?
Yeah.
Brilliant. We'll do that. Let's jump onto our website as we head to demonstration. If you do have any questions, please get in touch. Here's our website. You can shop ahead. You can see everything on there. So have a little look. We've got rotary cutter in there. That's pretty good. $14.99. You've also got your patchwork pins. You've got your snippet scissors in there. You've got your two-sided glue pens. Very good. You've also got your starch savvy sprays. So, I mean, essentials on top of the fantastic bundles. Oh, can I also point out that later on, Katie's going to be showing us how to make a beautiful quilt. So if you do want to shop ahead there, you'll be able to find it on our website. But it was a lovely quilt there too. Okay, the quilt. Now, remind me of the name of the quilt, Katie?
The fabric collection is Guess How Much I Love You. So very, very popular children's book. So they've made a few different collections, and this is the nut brown hairs.
That's it, the nut brown hairs.
Very cute.
It is a lovely quilt, and you get to see that at 11. Brilliant. So what are we going to do?
So we're going to put together one of the books. So the first thing you'll do is you'll get in your kit your panel and your wadding. Okay. So the first thing to do is to press and starch your panel. Okay. It's important to do this before you cut anything to avoid any risk of shrinkage.
Okay. We don't need to wash the panel?
You can pre-wash if that's your preference. It is sometimes quite good to pre-wash. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press and starch it, because starching it will make a few things a lot easier to sew, and also when we have to close it up by hand later, you'll see that having it starched is really handy. I'm using the June Taylor Starch Savvy because it's the only one really that I know of that you can spray, spray, press, and build it up in layers to make it as heavy or as light a starch as you want.
We have got details for the starch spray on our screens right now. It's a very useful spray to have, and it's a big bottle too.
It is, yes. Okay. So I'm not going to do the whole lot, but I'm just going to sort of show you that if you'll be able to test it out for me and agree that you can feel the difference in the fabric weight once I've pressed it.
Right.
So there we go. So that's just a light bit. So you can feel now that's got a nicer stiffness to lower down in the fabric.
All right. No,
so it will just help. It just help with the handling as we go. Okay. So the next thing that we need to do with our panel is to cut out. So we cut along the black lines, and then we can keep the instructions at the bottom as well.
I like the fact the instructions are printed on the panel, so no danger of losing them.
No danger of losing them. Everything will be there. So I've got my pieces all cut out. Okay. including my legs as well.
Do you use a pair of scissors?
Just use a pair of scissors along the black line, or a rotary cutter if you prefer. Okay. Something to note at this point, that on the outer pages are slightly wider than the inner pages, just to make it so it has a cover. So when you're cutting out your wadding, don't just cut all 3 pieces exactly the same. Cut the 3 pieces as you would with the individual pages as well, just to make sure that you get your wadding all the same size. Yes. So I'll pop that to one side for the moment, and I'm going to start by stitching my legs. So
the back is basically back page.
It will be the back page. On, I think it is with the Llama, it goes on the front because then it's on the left. So that's just another thing to sort of watch out for. Right.
Well, it's all in instructions.
It is all in the instructions, exactly. So I've just cut out a piece of wadding, which I will trim down later. So I take my legs and I pop the first ones down face up, and the second face down. And you just need to make sure that all of your lines match up nicely so that you don't end up with white edges around the outside. So I'm just going to pop a couple of pins in just to hold it still. Always helps.
Okay, now we have got pins on the show as well.
Yeah.
Katie, I know we were chatting about the temperature. Do you mind if we turn down the aircon a little bit?
Not at all.
I'm getting a draft under the
table.
Not at all. It's really chilly. All right, thank you. Okay. So I'm going to start sewing now. So where I'm sewing is around the green outline of the legs. Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to start there, just do a quick little back stitch just to make sure that my thread's secured. Right. And then stitch around the edge. Now it's quite fiddly, so what I like to do is just keep lifting my foot up as I'm sewing around the outside. Right. Just helps. Nice. No dragging round.
Oh, no, this is interesting because we're busy for all our options, but Peekaboo I Love You is out in the lead. We will keep you, we'll keep track.
Is that because you left everyone in suspense, do you think? They just really want to know who's hiding under the blanket?
I think so.
I think that's what it is.
We're going to show you our Peekaboo. It's a cute, they're all very, very cute stories. And I have to say, something you touched on, Katie, is the actual designs, thank you, the actual designs and the colours as well. So here's Peekaboo I Love You. Just going to show you that. So there's Peekaboo I Love You. And as we open up, who's that hiding there behind the chair? You can just see someone sneaking. Who's that tucked there in the house with care? Who's that cuddled under the pink rug? Last one. And who's that peeking out like a little love bug? There is a couple more pages. Well, actually, there's one more page. But you don't get to see who's hiding unless you get the panel. Very cute, though.
Right.
Okay, so
I'm nearly finished. Yeah.
That's right.
It's just a bit fiddly with all his toes.
Okay.
But this is definitely easily the hardest bit. Yeah. Everything else is very, very simple, straight lines. So once you've done this bit, you're all warmed up, and it's easy peasy after that.
Yeah. I mean, look, something like that, just take your time, there's no rush.
Exactly, exactly, and it makes all the difference in the finished product as well. Yeah.
So what would you say, just average, I know it's hard to gauge precisely, but how long would it take to make one of these books? A morning?
Maximum.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Really not long at all.
You kind of talked about the fact there's so much more meaning, and this is why we craft. It's making something ourselves. And
definitely.
I know how talented, and you're a very talented crafter yourself, I know how talented a lot of our viewers are out there. So look, if you're just starting, it's a great make. this is what you can do. Absolutely fine, looks fantastic. But if you want to take it that step further, you've got that scope. So if you wanted to add sensory elements, so crinkle paper in there, or little squeaky toys, if you wanted to do some free motion as well.
Yeah, decorative stitching or quilting on it, then there's so many different things. Embroidery,
so this is the start, and just as a foundation, looks incredible. So just if you were to give that to someone, fantastic. But the fact that you can take it that step further, I think for a lot of crafters, that would appeal.
Definitely. Great. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just cut my legs out. So I'm going to cut all the way along the top there. But then I'm going to trim a bit closer in around where I've stitched.
Okay. Does Sophie love her bedtime stories?
She does. At the moment, we have to read one story twice, and then some nursery rhymes, and then another story twice, and then possibly one more, and then I have to recite something while I sort of hold her in my arms before I can then put her down to bed.
Oh wow!
So, like you say,
routine.
They do like a routine.
Yeah, very
They do like
cute.
a routine. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's a big fan of a bedtime story.
Yeah. Now, we have got the Snippet Scissors on the screen, so a lovely pair of scissors. There is a freedom price on these as well, $23.39 if you want to pop those in your basket. How are you finding those scissors? Fabric scissors go?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And what I need to do as well is to make sure that they turn out really nicely, I just need to put some clips in them. So you'll see that I'm going to snip right in here. Right. Now, I'm not going to get to the stitching. Obviously, we don't want to get...
stitching. So just in between the leg and the foot?
Yep. And then also I'm going to snip right in between his toes. And I'm actually just going to take a bit of a triangle out. And this helps. And then in between his feet.
All right. What I'll do, once we've snipped all those out, I will hold those up just to show everyone where we snipped.
It's the same as if you were making anything with a curve.
Yeah, it just allows you to turn it and give it that cleaner edge.
It does.
Okay.
So there we go. Being
Brilliant.
stubborn.
Do you mind if I show everyone?
Of course.
So just so we can see where, I mean, you are getting full instructions, so don't worry. But you can see where we have, Katie's just given that little snip, so you've got your triangle snips there, and just in between the leg, and we reflected that on the other side as well. Great. Thank you, Katie.
So the next thing I'm going to do is turn them out. So we've got the 2 layers of fabric and then one wadding. So I'm going to turn out into between the 2 layers of fabric. So now this is where you have a tool that you need to use, and it is whatever tool you want. I have a chopstick. Okay. Because when I needed to do it, it was what I could find in the kitchen cupboard. Obviously, you can get a point turner. Lots of people use knitting needles, but it's just anything with a blunt tip, but is pointy enough that you're just going to be able to
nooks and crannies.
Get in and poke your toes through.
So we're working on I Totally Love You.
Yeah.
Each one has their own charm. Now, great for little ones, but it's interesting. I was just listening to Ross because it's got a love theme to this. Yeah. Right? I Totally Love You. And I didn't know this, but they went, so Ross and his partner went to a fancy dress party.
Brilliant.
She went, and can I say, as couple costumes go, they're winning at this.
Okay.
So she went as a princess.
Yeah.
What do you think he went as?
Oh, did he go as a frog?
He did go
Brilliant.
as a frog.
Now that is very good.
But they stepped it up because towards the end of the night, she gave him a kiss, and then he came back in dressed as a prince.
Oh,
so I thought it was very,
wow.
very nice.
Now that is dedication.
It is dedication, but what I'm trying to say is if you did want to give that, I mean, yes, it geared for little ones, but I like the theme encapsulating your love.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
So there we go. I've turned out my legs, and I can just give them a really good press now. Now with some of the other ones, so for example like the tail on the puppy and things, I actually added 2 layers of wadding to make it really fluffy and stick out more. So you can build on that.
Look, it's such a nice puppy. And these 3D aspects, so whether it is the legs or the tail, they really do give character to the bird.
They do, yeah. It's just added a little something, isn't it?
Lovely.
Okay. So now we need to actually make our pages.
Right.
So the first page to do is the outer page, because that's the one that you're going to attach your legs to. I don't need those, but thank you. So here we have the outer page. So I've got my wadding down, and I've got my outside cover.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is pin my legs in place first. So you'll see there's a dotted line.
Yeah.
So we line that up with the white line on the book, and you'll see that it matches nicely. And your legs need to go inwards, because then they'll be turned out later on. So I'm just going to pop a couple of pins in to secure it there.
Lovely.
And then I will go round, put my next page on top, and then just line everything up nicely. Now I'm using pins, that's just my preferred way, but you could also use the clips, or you could use a glue pen just to go around the edge. It will just hold it in place. It's just a temporary bond. It washes out, it dries clear. It's not, it's not going to be toxic in the book at all or like that.
And we have got the glue pens on the show. Do you know what I do like about the fabric books is the fact, and as a mum, you'll know this, kids, they like the tactile nature of things, so they like to feel it. A lot of the time they like to chew as well. We can wash these, so you can wash them as well.
Definitely. So like I said, that's why I did it with the polyester wadding. It's really durable, it washes well, and they will get dirty. There's nothing in your life as a mum with a small child or a toddler that doesn't get dirty.
It's part and parcel of it.
Yes, well, it just means they're loved, I think.
Well, this will act as, I think as well, it's kind of like a comforter in the sense that you can give this to a little one and they can feel it because it is soft, it's plush, and they associate it with going to bed and that kind of relaxing time.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to start sewing. So because we've sewn them face together, we're obviously going to turn it out again, so we need to leave a gap. So I'm going to start sort of 1.5 inches or so down from the centre point on the opening. And again, I'm just going to stitch around the edge.
So as you're seeing, I mean, everything you've done so far, I think even for someone totally new to sewing, a total beginner could do this.
Yeah, so I've just got a straight stitch on. I've got the basic foot that comes with the machine, and I'm just using white cotton thread. So there's nothing difficult, nothing scary about any of those elements. It's just a case of stitching a straight line all the way along, stopping where you need to, and I'm finishing up. It's all in the finishing as well. So later on we'll actually close all the gaps by hand. And it's just little things like that that really make really make an impact on the finish.
And do you know what I like about these? They feel like they're shop bought, but they have that handmade charm.
Definitely,
and they are definitely handmade as opposed to homemade, and you know the difference when you get something that it looks handmade, it's beautifully finished, great. You know, sometimes you see something and you don't want it to look homemade, you want it to look handmade.
Yes, I know what you mean. So I'm just going a bit slower over the legs because I just want to make sure that they don't wiggle out of place.
So we did leave a gap to turn through?
We did, yeah. So I'm just going to do the same as I did before, is I'm just going to stop about there. Just do a quick back stitch, just securing your stitches, and then there we go.
Lovely.
So same as before with the legs, we just need to trim, and we'll do a little bit of clipping as well, not quite so much.
Lovely.
And just be careful when you are turning out, because I've still got some pins on the inside there, so just try not to. So I'm just going to trim this down. You can use scissors for this, or you could take a ruler and a rotary cutter if you'd prefer. All depends on what you prefer.
Now, if you do have any questions, we would love to hear from you. Feel free to email in studio@hochanda.com. So if something's on your mind, there's a good chance somebody else at home will be having the exact same thought. And we always love hearing from you, and that's the real beauty of Hochanda, the fact that we are a live platform. So if you do have any questions, you have got that connection with us. So do feel free to say hello.
Okay.
Okay.
So once I've trimmed all the outer edges off, I'm going to then trim the corners.
Right.
So I'm just going to take the corner off there. That'll help give it a nice sharp point when I turn it out. There we go. And then, just as before, just going to find my little gap. And start pushing. It's like changing the bed sheets on a Sunday, isn't it?
Okay. It's coming together quite quickly.
Oh yeah.
Well.
It's easier if it's a bit bigger.
Okay. Instantly, as you're turning through, one thing that's grabbing me, and something you talked about before, Katie, is the colours.
Yeah,
kids do respond to bright primary colours.
Yeah, they do, especially at a young age when they haven't got, they don't do words or even pictures. Especially sort of very young children, they'll just be looking at the shapes and things
colours.
like that, and the colours.
Okay.
So there we go. Take my pins out before I stab myself.
I have to say, you're doing a great... Considering this is Katie's first time on live TV, I think you're doing a fantastic job.
Oh, thank you.
It's so relaxed.
Well, I do talk to myself a lot.
Well, that's a good sign. That's good. Nothing wrong with that.
It's a good start.
We all do it. I think all crafters end up chatting to themselves at some point.
Okay, so then I'm just going to get my needle or chopstick in.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And point out my corners. If I find it.
Okay, it's come together beautifully. There is something so comforting about that plush nature, having that wadding on the pages.
Yeah, definitely. It wouldn't be the same at all if it was just fabric. So it is nice. So then, as with all sewing, it all really comes together when you give it a good press.
Yeah. Nice.
There we go.
Excellent. And there we've got our front cover.
Yep. So that's
your front and back.
Your first page. So when I forgot to sort of mention earlier, when you're cutting out, your panel is in 3 rows.
Right.
If you could just show. On there.
Okay.
So your panel is in 3 rows. So the top 2 are your first pages that go together. Right. The next 2 are the next pages that go together. Right. So as long as you don't mix them up when you're cutting them out, then it's really simple to understand which pages go with which. And in fact, the instructions, they're numbered, and the instructions give a full instructions as well.
Lovely. Would it be okay, Katie, if we had just a quick recap and got back to you?
No problem.
Okay?
Yeah, please do.
And we promise we'll be quick, and then we'll continue making the book. Let's just talk about the deal of the day. It's proving very popular. Now, if you do love your fabrics, and if you want to start creating your own fabrics, what about getting a plain fabric using what's in your stash? So it could be stencils, it could be stamps, you could actually brush on, paint on your own designs as well. You've got these fabulous fabric paints brought to you by Dylon, 25ml each, but look at the price. So effectively £1 per pot. You're getting a couple of metallics in the mix as well. So you've got your metallic silver, and it's bronze, and you've got some beautiful colours. I also like the fact that you've got a green, blue and red for your light fabrics, and you've also got a green, blue and red for your dark fabrics too. Deal of the day proving extremely popular. 235474, your item number. Now, I love this. So here at Hochanda, and you'll notice more and more coming up in the future, we're going to be bringing you new arrivals, and we've got some fantastic companies joining the Hochanda family. Katie being a great illustration of that. We're going to bring you some really talented crafters and some great crafty goodies. What I like about this hour, let's just think about this, because you can give a gift. So do you know somebody in your life, you yourself, could have a little member of the family, or you might know someone. So you might be, it could be just the neighbours. It could be your goddaughter or niece. It could be your nephews. You could be a grandparent. If you have little ones, you'll know that there's something about giving them a present. But then when you've made it and it's handmade, and with fabric books, this is what I really like about fabric books, because this is something that I think a child will really get attached to. Beautiful stories, they are endearing stories, but it's the colours, it's the fun nature, easy makes, but imagine giving that to a little one. So here we've got, I love you little monster. Do you have any little monsters in your life? But instantly you can see that the colours, the designs, they engage you. And as we go through the story, I'll love you even when treats are all you want to eat. I definitely know some little ones who love their treats. That's just the team. I love you even when you get angry and stomp your feet. Yep, we've all seen that as well. I love you even when you jump in a puddle of mud. I saw that the other day. Well, you have to see the end of that story by getting the paddle. I genuinely saw this little kid, and he was walking along, and he walked past the puddle of mud, and he looked around, his mum wasn't looking, and then it's like, whoop. Okay, $16.99 your price. Now, just to show you, this is with all the options. So you are getting the panel. The instructions are on the panel. I will just open that up. I won't open each one up, but just to show you, there's the panel. So you're getting this panel, and then you break down the panel. The instructions are on there. You're also getting the wadding as well. $16.99 is your price. The only difference is the options. We will continue along. This has been quite popular. Just going to show you, this is I Love You, sorry, not I Love You, it's Where's Llama Mama? Where's Llama's Mama? Shall we see where Llama's Mama? So, are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a cow for now. Are you my mama? Asked little llama. Nope, I'm a pig, and that's my gig. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. No, I'm a cat, and that's that. So there we go. You can imagine reading those to your little ones. They can play with them. They can wash it. You can wash it as well. What I would say, if you are an experienced sewer, add some more elements into it. So add sort of crinkle papers to them. You can add the squeaky toys as well. And it's just all about that sensory experience. So you've got bright, vibrant colours. Something that Katie touched on, I think this is a really good point. Same with her own daughter, so Sophie's 2, and we're having a little chat. It sounds lovely. So you have to show some pictures of Sophie later, but she sounds like a real cutie. But look, with Sophie, when she was younger, Katie was saying that she was just engaged with the shapes and the colours, but as she got a little older, so now she's 2, she's really able to take in the stories, and it helps because the stories are quite simple to read, then they're starting to learn to read, and it's giving them that vocabulary as well. As we move on, so we've got stories for everybody. Let's have a look here. So this is our next option. Remember, these are all options. You see the 3D aspect to each of the books. So now, oh, there's a little feet dangling. Look, someone's having a very good sleep. Now I lay me down to sleep. What about this? Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray that God would love and keep. All the faith in all the sea. Oh, is this? Sorry, let me try this again. I'm sorry, it's a kid's book and I'm reading it badly. Go back again. All the fish in all the seas and all the leaves on all the trees. What about this one? And all the stars up in the sky and all the bees that buzz on by. We'll see one more page. And all the people everywhere and every single dream and prayer. Now, I've got to tell you, the only thing in this one is it has a spelling. It's the American spelling of mum. So it's with the O as opposed to the U. Okay, so there we go. $16.99 your price there. As we carry on down, a popular option here. We've got a real cutie. Who's this? So this is Peekaboo, I Love You. Now, shall we have a little look? Who's that hiding there behind the chair? Who's that tucked in the house with care? Who's that cuddled under the pink rug? Who's that peeking out like a little love bug? Now, I know that Ross, our producer, is desperate to find out. The last page does reveal the answer. You don't get to see it. I'm sorry, Ross, you're going to have to buy the panel, make your book, and then you get to reveal the end of the story. So there we go. That's our Peekaboo, I Love You. And finally, the one we were working on. You can see how each of the stories, they are lovely stories, endearing stories, great imagery coming through as well. Fun. Look, with kids, you want it to be fun. So here we go. And actually, as a parent, I think this is a nice size story. So when your little one asks for a story before they go to bed, you're not going to be reading War and Peace. There we go. I totally love you. Let's open this up. I love to hop around with you. I love to splish and splash with you too. I love the way we float around on our backs. I love the way we hang out and relax. And to see the end of the story, you have to get the panel. Going to leave you in limbo. $16.99 is your price, so you are getting the panel, you are getting the waddings, you've got endearing stories here. Look, genuinely, if you know somebody, if you've got a little one in your family, imagine giving them that. Imagine reading them that story. The fact that they can play with it, there is that comforting nature. You know, it's sort of like sometimes kids, they do have comforters, sort of fabrics that they take around with them. It signifies bedtime. Sit down, lovely stories. In time they'll learn to read with you, engaging colours as well, and you can take it that step further. You can free motion. Oh, one more thing, I'm sorry, it's on each one of these, I think this is really nice, especially if you're giving it as a gift. You can embroider or you can just write on there, handmade with love. This is something that a little one will treasure. Right, we've got more. If we jump onto our website, we're going to talk to you about 7-Day Savers. The brand new 7-Day Savers have launched. Oh, I want to have a look. What have we got? So we got our Crafts 2 mixed punch selection. Big saving there. We've also got Aperture cards, Pearl Paper collection. We've got a set of grey board, 2,300 microns, $11.99. Loving that. Mill Shop Online give you some great fabric as well. We've got threads in the mix too. So all brand new 7-Day Savers. Have a little look. You've got maximum value there. Brilliant. Okay, so you can see 6 days left. Or have to say though, while stocks last, because sometimes we do sell out of our 7-Day Savers. Katie, how are we getting on? Yeah, good. I've just pinned together the other pages, so I think we've got plenty of time for me to make up the rest of it as well. Brilliant. Okay. So exactly the same as I did with every other page. So with the first page, so I'm just going to sew around the edge and pivot the corners. Okay. If you wanted to embroider with the name and things, then obviously that sort of thing would have to be done first. Okay. In fact, if you wanted to do any kind of decorative embroidery, I'd suggest that you sort of do it in the start, unless you wanted it to work like quilting, and then obviously we'll do it afterwards. Okay. So look, as a mum, what is it about a fabric book? What's the charm of a fabric book? I think it's just. It's nice and it's soft, and also like they can't rip it. Yeah. I sometimes leave books and things in my daughter's cot, and unfortunately, you know, boredom sets in, and we have had ripped pages and things like that. Yeah. So they can't rip them. They can't hurt themselves. No paper cuts. You can't drop them on their face or something when they're in the pushchair. And to be fair, when you think about it, a fabric book would be a lot more washable than, say, a paper book. If a paper book gets wet, gets something spilt on it, then it's done, really, isn't it? So they're a bit more durable than your standard book. Have you tested the stories out on Sophia? I have, yeah. We have had all 5 of them at home. And which was her favourite?
She likes the Llama Mama.
Yeah.
She's a big into her animals. And we're learning lots of different animal names at the moment. That's our sort of what we're doing. So that seems to be her favourite at the moment.
Okay.
So
it's a nice story too.
It is, yeah, because it's teaching. Like I said, with the sort of stage that Sophie's at, it's teaching her lots of different animals as well. So I'll find that, you know, we'll turn the page and she'll already start doing she'll already start mooing before I've even started reading. That's
very cute. We're just going to have a look at our Llama Mama as we were stitching around here. So this is just one of the stories, Where's Llama's Mama? Let's have a look and see if we can find it. So, are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a cow for now. And you can imagine the kids making the noises of the animals. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a pig, and that's my gig. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a cat, and that's that. I'll read one more. I won't reveal the final page. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a horse, of course. And then, it's a very endearing finish, but you have to get the panel to see the final page.
Okay.
It's just come together very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so when you said, you know, a morning, obviously I've already cut them out and things like that, and then there is an element of hand stitching involved, which takes a little bit of time, but you know, they're not long projects at all.
Well, considering you're giving something that has been handmade with love.
Yeah.
I know that's written on the back, but genuinely, if you're making this for a little one, you will put a lot of thought into it.
So just as I did with the first page, I'd trim the edges and clip the corners and then press them out nicely.
So this is good presents as well. One of my friends they've just had another baby, and you kind of think, what do you get? You know, as presents for new arrivals to family, when you want to give to friends and family. I think there's something like this is a really nice gift.
Yeah,
really
nice
fun.
Yeah. And especially if, like, say, you know, someone's expecting, then you don't have to put their name on till the last minute when you find out what it is.
That's a good point. And you know, with clothing, sometimes a lot of people, they're getting the same old clothing, same old clothing. At least you know you're giving something that is original.
Exactly, and they grow out of it before you get them in it half the time as well with the really little ones. So now that I've got all my pages, I'm going to join them together. So if you could just show, on that one, I've actually used a really nice decorative stitch on the spine.
Okay. So, oh, there we go.
And I've used this more...
Like it gives it a real book feel.
Yeah, so I've used a variegated thread as well, which just adds a bit of interest. So I chose the primary colours to go with it.
Do you know what, that's a really nice touch, having that decorative stitch. I like that, yeah.
That's the sort of simple thing that you can add to it, just to make it...
I think on our machines, we've all got decorative stitches that we don't use.
I think, I mean, there's some sewing machines now have sort of tens of thousands of stitches that you just don't use. You just straight stitch, So, now it's quite bulky, so I'm just going to have to lift my foot ever so slightly higher to get that in under there. But there's a dotted line right down the middle of the book. So as long as you've got them all lined up, then you'll be able to stitch it really nicely. Let's have to press it down.
I mean, even that bulky, the machine's going through it, which is good.
Yeah. It's got a nice loft in it, the polyester wadding, so it's you know, it does sort of squish down quite nicely, but it is nice and bouncy as well. So there we go.
So, you know, when you talk about decorative stitch, when would you put that on? So would you have done
I would have done it then, yeah. I was just doing a simple straight stitch just to show the joining today. But, so there we go, in however long that was, we already have our book.
That is very impressive. Do you mind if I just
show not at all.
Considering, obviously, the time I would have taken just to recap and going down the counters, I think you've kind of made that in about 20 minutes. I know we did do some of the cutting, But I think that's beautiful. And there is I Totally Love You going through. Beautiful. But you do have scope to take it that step further. So you can, a really good point here. If you're giving this to somebody and you don't know the name yet, they are expecting, you can leave that to the last minute. I love the legs at the end, and you can imagine a little one playing with it, sort of hugging it. You can squish it up. You're not going to harm it. You're not going to tear it. And most importantly, as a parent, you'll get this, you can wash it. Because little ones, they're not worried about keeping it clean, are they?
No, not at all. So the last thing that we need to do is close up the where we turn. So we've got these little gaps here now, and like I said earlier, I starched that fabric, so it's really, really nice and easy to press. So I've just finger pressed that down, and you can see how crisp and edge that is. So it'd be really, really simple now for me to just take my needle and thread and just do a ladder stitch or whatever other stitch you feel comfortable with, just to get that closed up. And that's, I always like to have 2 different amount of jobs on my plate, so machine jobs and also what I call sofa jobs. So this is a sort of thing that you then pile up for the rest of the day. Carry on with all your machine jobs, and then in an evening you can sit and hand stitch and just close up your books. I mean, but like you said, it's 20 minutes or so, so you could have a library full of them for your
sofa. This is nice, because it read you there with your little sofa jobs.
Yeah, sofa jobs.
Good.
I just need to learn to knit next.
Well, I tell you what, stay tuned, because we've got some great knitting shows here at Hochanda.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
So so this will take me a little while.
No, that's okay, but it shows you the principle of what you can achieve there.
Yeah, definitely. And if I just, I bought a permanent fabric marker with me, so we can finish it off by adding somebody's name. So I've made this one with love for.
Who's that going to be?
For Tanita.
Ah.
There.
Who's Tanita?
She's my colleague. She's desperate for a shout out.
Well, there you go. Tanita, you've got your shout out right there. Lovely. Brilliant. And that's how simple it is.
That's how simple it is.
Yeah. Okay. I tell you what, we're going to tell you a little bit about freedom. Take a look at this.
Hello everyone, I've got a minute or two to tell you why you should all be members of Hochanda Freedom. Did you know that with Hochanda Freedom you could be saving on your deliveries every single month? For just a £6.97 monthly fee, you'll benefit from unlimited standard delivery, which means the more you spend with us, the more you save. And do you know the best bit? You can cancel at any time. Becoming a member of Hochanda Freedom, you'll also be able to take advantage of our exclusive Freedom members discounts, where you can save anything up to 20% on an already fantastic Hochanda price. Freedom members will also receive our exclusive members badge and Freedom newsletter, which will keep you updated with all the goings-on behind the scenes. Look at all these benefits for £6.97 per month. Over 12,000 of you are already members, and we thank you so much for being part of our family and sharing your crafting passion with us. In fact, I'm going to hand over to you to tell everyone else about your experience with Hochanda Freedom.
I'm a Freedom member, which means I can shop a lot.
It's the discounts and all the special offers you get.
I get special offers, I get special discounts. They tell me when everything's happening. So if there's a special show I want to watch, then it's there.
I'm able to just shop when I'd like.
It's just good to have.
Yes, you do save. If you buy like I do, you save.
You see, you could be a member instantly for £6.97 per month with no monthly obligation. So when you want to cancel, you can. Just give us a call or go to our website quoting the item number 88888. So, don't forget you get your unlimited standard delivery, exclusive Freedom discounts, members badge and members newsletter. What are you waiting for? Join Hochanda Freedom today and become a member of the growing Hochanda family.
There we go. Do you want to tell you a little bit about Freedom membership? So we are coming towards the end of the hour. We're just going to have one final recap of all these fantastic books brought to you by Huggable and Loveable. Katie, brand new guest.
Yes.
How are you finding, is TV what you expected?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Good. You're enjoying it?
More relaxing than I thought, actually.
Well, you have been
it's good.
very relaxed, which is lovely to see. Speaking of relaxing, we're talking fabric books for little ones. I do love the designs, the colours, but also the stories are nice.
Yes, they are, yeah.
Each one has their own personal, individual charm. So we're going to take a look at our little monster here. So I love you, little monster. Now let's think about this, because do you have somebody in your life who you think can associate with this? Or can you yourself? I love you, even when treats are all you want to eat. Sophie, like her treats?
Yes.
Okay. I love you even when you get angry and stomp your feet. Sophie, stomp your feet?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I love you even when you jump in a puddle of mud.
We just had the garden done, and that's all the garden is at the moment, so
okay,
yes.
Okay, okay. I love you even when your bathtub starts to flood. Oh, does she like a bath?
She loves her baths,
Yeah,
yes.
that's cute. Okay, so there we go. There's our little monster. Remember, you're getting the panel, you're getting the metre of wadding. It is a half width in there as well. And you're getting this, it's a small little touches. We'll show you on all the books, but Katie, we did give your shout out to
Tanita, yeah,
who's watching. So there we go. So Made for Love 4, who are you going to give your fabric book to? Okay, as we carry on down, where's Llama Mama?
I know.
All right, this is cute. You'll see that each one of the books give it their own little personality. You've got the sort of 3D aspects. So here, and something you pointed out, Katie, so the legs are on the front.
Yes.
I know sometimes the 3D aspects on the back. So, where's Llama's mama? She's having a little look. Let's open up and see. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a cow for now. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a pig and that's my gig. Are you a llama? Oh, sorry, read it wrong. They won't guess, they won't know. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a cat and that's that. We'll read one more. Are you my mama? Asked the little llama. Nope, I'm a horse, of course. The final page, you will reveal the... No, we're not going to show you. You have to get the panel to reveal the end of the story. As we move on down, we've got, this is nice. Again, when we talk about bedtime, so just showing you here, little teddy bear, you've got the dangly feet in the background. There you go. Oh, there they are. And this is it. Now I lay me down to sleep. Let's have a look at this one. So now I lay me down to sleep. I pray that God will love and keep all the fish in all the seas and all the leaves on all the trees. This is a nice story. And all the stars up in the sky and all the bees that buzz on by. And all the people everywhere and every single dream and prayer. There is a final page, but again, I will not reveal. Details on your screen as we carry on down. This is nice. Any pets in your family?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well,
Well,
actually, the little one.
my brother has 5 dogs, so...
5 dogs?
Yeah.
What kind of dogs?
Spaniels mainly.
Oh, they're very cute. Spaniels.
Very cute, very cute.
Sophie
so
loves
yeah,
to go
a little bit
visit
spaniel-like actually. This puppy dog.
Sophie loves the doggies?
Yes, she does. She would probably have a dog in a heartbeat, but she's not getting one.
Let's have a look here. So this is Peekaboo, I Love You. And we'll go through and have a little look. So, who's that hiding behind the chair? Who's that tucked in the house with care? Who's that cuddled under the pink rug? Who's that peeking out like a love bug? Who's that stomping in the studio? That's our Paola. There we go. Look at the clippity clop of our lovely Paola coming up next hour. Okay, so there's our Peekaboo. And finally, we have I Totally Love You. Katie, I feel I've been selfish. I've read all the books.
No,
Would
really, really.
You sure?
Really.
Okay, all right. So I know you're going to go home to your family and say, this great guy, I was on TV for the first time and he didn't let me read one book. All right, we'll just have a look here, because this is one that I know you personally love.
Yeah.
So this is I Totally Love You. There's the little feet, and we showed how quickly it was to make one of these. So, I mean, in a morning, you could definitely make one. So, I love to hop around with you. I love to splish and splash with you too. I love the way we float around on our backs. Oh. I love the way we hang out and relax. Now, you can imagine reading this to a little one, and then you've got the final page. I really want to know what happens here. Oh, that's a nice finish, and they've all got lovely finishes to them. So $16.99 your price there, 595 714 your item number. We are coming towards the end of the hour. First time on TV.
Yes.
Should we do some hellos to friends and family? Oh, we've got to give Sophie a little mention. I know we did it earlier on. Should we give her a little mention?
Sophie, yes.
There we go.
So Sophie is with my mum and dad at the moment, so they'll probably all be watching still, and she'll still probably be in her pyjamas.
Okay,
but
and what are your parents' names?
Barbara and Richard.
Barbara and Richard doing a great job,
Yeah.
grandparents, and
Yeah.
Sophie, hello. Mum's doing a great job there as well. And obviously all of your friends as well.
Yeah,
watching.
yeah. My mum's a really keen sewer as well, so she's
Fantastic.
been, you know, she'd love to do this sort of thing she sews a lot for Sophie.
Well,
Grandmas do that, don't they?
Grandmas are great. Now, she's going to be helping you out, because I know you've got lots more shows. You're going to be introducing in the future. Hopefully, we're going to get some new companies and brands coming in.
Got some more brands and things, yeah.
Exciting.
So, yeah, I'll be here with all sorts of different things.
Amazing.
Yes, definitely.
Just want to show you very quickly a website, because we've got loads more goodies on there, because we did use the starch. I know we had the starch spray, the rotary cutters in there, the scissors. Katie was using the glue pens, which are fantastic. There's a starch spray I was just alluding to, and it's a 16-ounce starch spray. So, I mean, you are getting a sizable amount, actually. I'm just going to grab it and show it when we come back. So what I would advise, do feel free to jump online and just have a look at all the goodies. See what else. I mean, that starch spray, and you can see that you've been using a lot of that.
Yes, I have, yeah.
So there we go. For anyone who doesn't necessarily use starch spray, what are the benefits of starch spray?
So it just helps hold the fabric. It makes it firmer, so it makes it easier to handle. It's less sort of slippery.
Yeah.
And it means that you can do a lot more finger pressing and things. So when you are doing quick patchwork and things, it is nice to have that crisper edge and things as well.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you so much.
No, thank
I hope
you.
you've enjoyed it. I think
Thank
you've been
you.
fantastic.
Thank you
Really,
very
for first show, you've been incredible. So there we go. We're going to see lots more of Katie in the future. Actually, not too distant future, because Katie will be back at 11.
Yeah.
We're going to have a different focus. We've got some great quilts that we're going to be featuring. So I really hope you can join us again at 11. Thank you so much for your company. Got lots more though.